And we are back again. This is Frankly Football. I'm Brandon.
Hey man, I'm setting up Chris. I'm with the ever knowledgeable, ever wardrobe changing, keeping it dope fresh friend of mine and colleague, BH. And man, we're gonna talk about the 40% of your football team, the heart and soul of what makes the Dallas Cowboys the Dallas Cowboys. We're gonna talk about this offensive line, man.
Yes, sir. So obviously, we got some moderately upsetting news that it's going to be a year for Tyron Smith. Going to go ahead and get that neck worked on. Who knew that it was such a strong issue? Apparently, there were some setbacks, but that's going to leave a hole at your right tackle spot.
No, that's going to leave a hole at your left tackle spot. You already had a hole.
I apologize. Left tackle.
You already had a hole at right tackle because Lyle turned around and was down there having too much crawfish and gumbo and sausage and kind of got his hips out of joint. So you're going to go now at the quarter point of your season with your mega and as I tweeted, Tyron is no longer a mega guy. He's no longer a demigod. He's mortal. He's immortal.
There was an animated DC movie where Darkseid said, okay, the only way to stop Superman is to infuse his blood with kryptonite. That made him just as simple as all of us humans.
Right.
That's what's going on with Tyron right now. He got kryptonite in his blood, man.
Hey, man, you got to look at it. He's been top tier, Hall of Fame status, left tackle since his second year in the league. Yeah. And so we've gone through the process of every 2 or 3 years of him being hurt. And now we know he's on the backside of his career. So I think we had talked about it in a video we did before that Tyron's got maybe 2 more years playing at the level he's at right now. Turn around, he's got a bad back. He's got a bad neck. We already know about a guy on our team. We're waiting to come back. He's got a bad neck. You got some issues going on there. But because the Dallas Cowboys have been great at drafting linemen every year for the last couple of years. Remember, they went almost 20 years before drafting the linemen, and now they went on that steady diet since Tyron of getting linemen. And so
absolutely.
I think
I am one of the guys, I believe that regardless of whether it is a need or not, you draft at least one offensive lineman every year.
Every year.
I'm one of those guys that, as you can see, one injury can turn an offensive line on its ear. And we have 3 departures. Let's not forget that, like you said, Joe Looney had a little bit too much fun in this COVID-filled offseason. Obviously, Travis Frederick, due to his health issues, had to call it a career. I respect it. And now you lose Tyron Smith. So we see where a team that doesn't consistently draft offensive linemen and keep them in stock, how they would struggle. Because the Dallas Cowboys have picked up old linemen left and right in the past 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And we are still experiencing trouble and heartache as a result of these recent injuries.
Absolutely. So I think with the injuries that have happened, you got questions for left tackle, what you're going to go into the future. You just signed Lyle to a long-term deal, so you're fine with him at right tackle, but he's got to get back healthy. Now you're worried about the middle of your pocket. At the right side, you got the all-pro, all-world, El Presidente, Zach Martin. We have the guy who I've been very, very high on coming out of college and getting an opportunity to do what I thought he could do from day one had we had a full camp. Tyler Biadasz playing center. And we have the much maligned and very often disrespected Connor Williams. And I want to say for those who are subscribed and
talk about it,
to stop for a second and realize that Connor Williams is not even a full calendar year removed from his ACL tear.
Talk about it.
Full year. He's not even a full year. He hurt his knee, played a game, and then said, "I'm going to go have surgery." He's not even a year removed. And we, as Cowboy Nations and as those fickle fans out there who don't know this football team, haven't given this guy the benefit of the doubt of being a warrior to play
Absolutely.
who's played. And at the last 3 games, his first 3 games, he didn't walk out and get to play, Joe Schmo from, Fort Valley State College. No, he
That's
went
right.
and drew Aaron Donald,
Mm-hmm.
Defensive Player of the Year. Then the next week after that, he went and got Grady Jarrett. And like I said last week, I seen Grady Jarrett's family. Grady Jarrett taking care of a whole lot of folks, man.
Oh, yeah.
That make you want to whoop ass on Sunday. Okay?
Absolutely.
Taking care of mama, sister, auntie, brother who work at UPS who want to live fly. He out there whooping ass. So he got reason to be as good as he is. And then you go and get Jerron Reed for the Seahawks, who next to Poona Ford, and it caused problems.
Absolutely.
So I'm not as bad. I'm not as down on Connor Williams as everybody else is. But with this offensive line being where it is, we got to make major upgrades and major changes. So let's start with this. Tyron's out. Who you putting in left tackle, Brandon?
I think that the obvious answer is Brandon Knight. That's something that we agreed on. When I sent you all of the endless possibilities that I had for offensive line, there was one constant, and that was Brandon Knight. I think that obviously your best lineman, your best tackle is going to be your guard, if we are being totally honest. And on the other end, where Tyron is now leaving a hole, Brandon's the obvious guy to go back there. If I remember, he had to play last year. I'm not sure if he played on the left when he played for us in those 2 games.
Last year, we ended up having Cam Fleming last year.
Yes.
Cam played at left. Brandon played at right. He played towards the end of the Green Bay game when Lyle went down. He went to New York and slugged it out. Dak got hit a lot. They said there was a lot of questionable calls, but he did his thing there. I think Brandon Knight has a lot of Doug Free in him.
Absolutely.
And if you spend time with us, he's got a lot of really Doug Free qualities. Great feet.
Yes.
Tenacious, will fight you to the death, and a great guy to have. I think he is a premier swing tackle in this league. I think the film he's going to put out this year is going to have people come get him paid. And I think Steven, Will, and Jared be wise to sign a new check for that young man, because this will be he's a second-year guy, and he's going to get quality reps, and he's a guy to be reckoned with. So I'm very high on Brandon Knight at being the left tackle.
I am as well. He was one of the guys starting last year, back when I was doing this solo. Long time ago. He's one of those guys that I knew would make this roster.
That's when I discovered you. That's when I discovered you.
Yeah.
That's what's
long
up.
Time ago.
Yeah.
But he's a guy that I've always had faith in. I always knew that he would be one of those guys that would be like a relief guy. Because even this time last year, we knew what Tyron was. We knew that he was going to be a guy that would give you 3 games missed a year.
Well, he's going to give you 13. Up to
this year, he's going to give you 13.
He's been consistently giving you 13 games. So
and this year, he's going to give you 13 off the field. So you got to deal with it. But I had faith in Brandon Knight being able to come in and play a spell then. Now he's just being able to get more of an opportunity to shine.
Yeah.
I like the comparison of Doug Free. Doug Free was one of those guys, he can move, and then he'll put clamps on you.
Yep.
Now, it just so happened that he would get a lot of holding penalties because of that. Luckily, in the, 4 or 5 games that we've seen Brandon Knight so far as a professional, he hasn't had many penalties. I can't recall. I haven't checked 2019, so I can't speak to that. But he hasn't had many penalties in 2020.
Got you. Yeah, I think Brandon Knight has been the bright spot for this offensive line, and I think you found a very, very capable starter.
Absolutely, promising.
So now I got to sit and say, do I want to make 2-3 different moves, or I want to just make one wholesale move and put somewhere else? I'm a very big fan of Connor Williams. Always has been. I think he's got great feet. I think he's got great fight. I think he's willing to do what's necessary that the Cowboys want and need him to do. And I don't need every offensive lineman to be a Pro Bowler. I just need every guy to be serviceable and fight hard and work hard. And that's what I get from Connor Williams.
I said this just a few weeks ago. Actually, maybe a week ago now. You don't need every guy to be an all-pro. You don't need elite at every spot. Would you like it? Of course. But
right.
I think that Connor Williams is top half of the lead in guard play. There are 64 starting guards in this league. I think that Connor Williams is in the top 35. And for a team to have one elite guard and one top half of the league guard, I think that is totally okay.
Yeah.
So this is coming going towards a guy who is, just like we said, less than a year removed from a horrible ACL injury.
Right. So I'm cheering for Connor Williams, but I think Connor Williams will help. I think he'll be a stabilizing force for young Brandon, who's over there on the left side, and against my young, talented, college award-winning center, Tyler Biadasz.
Yes, sir. Hey, I will say one thing. From the beginning of the season until now, we have upgraded at the center position. I believe that Joe Looney is an amazing person. If you were to talk to him, I think that you would leave that conversation with a smile on your face, and that he would give you the shirt off of his back.
Yeah, yes. Refreshed and charged, one to go make a difference in the world. Heck of a guy. Just don't want him blocking for nobody.
Exactly. I do not want him protecting my quarterback. I think that Joe was the dark spot on this offensive line coming into the season. So I think that having Tyler is actually an upgrade. I do hope that Joe gets well soon, because we're gonna need the backup. You can never have too many offensive linemen, especially at center. But I need Tyler starting.
Okay.
On to the right guard though. Here's where we get a little fishy, a little swirly. What you think, Chris?
Listen, I am going to do a 2-for-1 move.
Okay.
If I'm going to go and protect my quarterback as well as help promote my run game, I'm going to pull the guy that everybody wants to go see, and that's Connor McGovern. I'm going to put Connor McGovern as my right guard. Easy for him to transition the league. He's got a guy in Biadasz on one side who's a helper as a center, and would also turn around and have at his right tackle the best offensive lineman on your team and top 5 best offensive linemen in the league to your immediate right in Zach Martin.
Yes,
I
sir.
would turn around and put Tyler, get those reps, throw him in the fire, see if he can swim. And if he doesn't,
you got to do that. You got to do that. Like I said, your best tackle right now is your guard.
Right.
You don't want to put Terrence Steele out there. You don't want to.
Hey! This is a family show, sir. We won't be doing no cussing on here. I don't care how late it is. And if you want to get all that vulgarity and stuff, you got to go to a different channel. On this channel, on Frankly Football, where coaching matters, right? And knowledge flows like a river in the Colorado from the mountains. We won't have that kind of cussing talking about Terrence Flypaper, okay? Not having that.
Yeah. I do feel like I got a little dirtier by speaking that name. That experiment has failed. It's a quarter of the season. You have to be able to admit that experiment has failed. It shows just a level of arrogance.
Yes.
If you continue to try to trot that man out there and get your quarterback killed.
Right.
If you remember, a couple of the .com folks Shout out to Broadus. I think that he's a wealth of information. He had things to say about some of your tight ends, and that the guy doesn't know how to block. A tight end that I was pretty high on, and that you trot him out there without the ability to block, that he's going to get someone killed.
Right. So
how do you feel trotting someone out there whose duty to block and they don't do that successfully? Are you not also going to put someone's livelihood in danger?
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not going to put my quarterback in danger. I'm not going to put my running game in danger, but I'm not going to put my other offensive line or my entire team in danger with the things that would end up happening. We've given up a short field with an explosive offense and with Tyron Smith and people. What would you imagine if we turned around and put Joe Looney back in and we start having these same problems?
Yeah.
Everybody be like, oh, it's the fumbles. No, it's the 2 seconds of pressure I'm getting from the right side or I'm getting right up the gut. So I think I have no problem with Tyler being there, but for my right guard, I put in the youngster, Connor McGovern.
And I really want that to happen. I am intrigued as to why he hasn't gotten a chance yet.
Right.
Personally, I believe that it is because he's not a McCarthy guy. So the coach is going to try to put out the guys that he drafted first and foremost. And for what it's worth, we are seeing that to the detriment of the team at this point in time.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But for what it's worth, I really do hope that Connor McGovern gets a chance to go out there. Arms a little short, not gonna lie, but I think that you put him in there and let him get the clamps on someone, that he could do better for you than what you've had out there.
Oh, without question. I think him have played big time football, had an opportunity to get a full 6 weeks in camp, bang, lift weights. I think Connor McGovern gives you a great opportunity at right guard, and it helps us keep continuity with the right tackle position and having Zach Martin put there.
Absolutely.
And if you got that O line, you've got 5 games before the bye.
Yes.
That can help you get right, and then turn around, take that time and go do what you need to do to make this team better.
Now, we've played against some obviously elite defensive talent. We've played against the Aaron Donalds. We've played against the Myles Garretts. And we've also played against some very good guys as well, like your Tech McKinley.
Okay.
Do you think there are any immediate threats to this O-line coming up now?
Right now, if I put Terrence Flypaper out there, everybody's a threat. Me and you a threat. Me and you a threat. If we put Terrence Two-Ply out there.
Terrence Two-Ply, I like it.
Yeah, Terrence Two-Ply. But I think everybody's gonna give us a problem. I think I don't think much of the Washington Football Wizards, but I think they got a stout defensive line. I don't.
Yes, they do.
Take anything away from. I don't take away from anything from anybody because everybody's got pass rushers they got game changer type of guys. I think we have game changers, but we have to turn around and put them in the right position and not be afraid to deal with the repercussions. Oh, if it doesn't work, hey, guess what? If it doesn't work, you can try out Terrence. You can try out Terrence and try to start like that. But we've already seen 4 games that don't work.
Yes, and he's now given up 3 sacks. So we've seen how that goes. I'll tell you one thing though, and this is the first thing that I text you after I told you that Tyron was out. Tyron and no Tyron, offensive line been looking kind of shaky for the whole season. So I will retool the line, however that may be, and I'm still gonna send my quarterback out there and score high 30s, maybe even 40 points a game on people, because they've been doing that with this shaky protection that we've been getting already.
I think shifting protections or learning certain things, that's going to be with the O-line. I think they have been shaky. They have been leaky in some different areas. But I got a young quarterback who can get out of trouble. I got a young quarterback who can do certain things. I think if you bring Colin McGovern in, slap him in at right guard, and then work through the premise of who's going to be back, who's going to be able to be healthy, who's going to be able to say and do things, and build your O-line from there. But I like the O-line right now. I think they need to play more games. I think they need to do more reps. But I definitely think getting a diet of the Giants, Arizona, Washington, Philly, and then Pittsburgh, I think by the time you play Pittsburgh and you lead this line the way it is, it'll be like you said, man, when the first time Tyler Biadasz came in. Clinton and the pimp slacks on Sunday.
Hey. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Strolling. Because it ain't easy.
I like it. And, I just think that it's going to be okay. Because when you got an offense as high-powered as ours and a quarterback who can get himself out of trouble, it all finds a way to work itself out.
Okay. And you're right. So that's our hope. But this is what we want.
Yeah.
Me and Brendan can go back and forth all night about this O-line. We want your comments, man. We want your input.
Sure.
We want to see who you would put in there, who you would run with, because there's some different options. There's a Sanat, who we got off of the Cleveland practice squad.
Yep.
There's Jordan Mills, who we got off the Bears practice squad. He should be able to come in and be able to do something. I mean, those guys have gotten NFL starts.
Yep.
And if we can get those guys and keep people off the field like Terrence Flypaper, like Terrence Two-Ply, that's going to hurt us. That's how we feel. Love to hear what you would feel. Make sure you hit the like button because it helps us get in the algorithm. Get your comments out, and we'll follow up and holler at you, man.
Absolutely. So we're not going to take up too much more of your time. This has been Frankly Football. I am Brandon.
Hey, man, I'm setting off Chris, man.
Peace.